The costs of owning and running a modern car are increasing year on year. They have more expensive and complex technology to service and maintain, insurance is skyrocketing, and depreciation over 3 to 4 years is huge. Even if you finance the car, you're paying for the difference between the purchase price and its value at the end of the contract. So higher list prices mean bigger depreciation and higher deposits, balloon payments or monthlies. The list price also affects the vehicle tax you pay for the first 5 years, with even relatively modest cars attracting the additional luxury car tax. So what if you could avoid many of these costs by driving a car that's over 40 years old? For now, at least in the UK, you'd get exemption from vehicle taxes and many road charges and tolls. You'd get lower insurance and maintenance costs, and either zero depreciation or maybe even an increase in value. But best of all, with a right classic car, you'd be the king or queen of the road, being let out at junctions and grudgingly admired by other drivers for sticking it to the man and shunning the tech-laden carbon copy cars that fill our roads. Keep watching for my pick of 5 ultra cool classic cars that could work really well as daily drivers. If you're going to use a classic car as a daily driver, 2 of the most important things to look for are reliability and comfort. And no one does this better than the Germans. So first up is the BMW 3 Series, the E30 generation of Munich's baby executive car. These second generation 3 Series cars first appeared in 1982, so there are a good many of them that are over 40 years old and now qualify as classic or historic vehicles in the UK. The early E30s came with petrol engines ranging from 1.6 and 1.8 litre 4-cylinder units, making 75 and 105 horsepower respectively, through to 125 horsepower 2 litre or 139 horsepower 2.3 litre straight 6 engine, with either manual or automatic transmission. You can find them as 2 or 4-door saloons, 4-door touring estates or 2-door convertibles, all of which have a timeless style that looks effortlessly cool out on the road. Prices of these pretty Bavarians range from around £7,000 for a 1.6 or a high miler, up to around £17,000 for a tidy convertible or a beefy straight 6. Staying with German reliability and luxury is the Mercedes-Benz W201, Stuttgart's direct competitor to the E30 compact executive car and also introduced in 1982, although it was another year before the UK could get them in right-hand drive. Known to Merc enthusiasts as the W201, you could have the 190 with a 90 horsepower 2 litre 4-cylinder engine fitted with carburettors, or the 190E with a fuel-injected 120 horsepower 2 litre motor. Either could have manual or automatic transmission, but all variants were 4-door saloons. If you fancy a 190E with a bit more poke, from 1983 Mercedes turned to Cosworth to give them an engine that they could use for touring car racing, and for homologation purposes they had to fit detuned variants into a road-going model. These 190E Cosworths, or 190E 2.3 16 valve cars to give them their official title, were good for 183 horsepower and could accelerate to 62 miles per hour in under 8 seconds. Pretty fast for a chunky saloon car in its day. These over-engineered Benzers can be found at similar prices to the BMW, £5,000 to £15,000, and even the Cosworth homologation specials can be bought for low to mid-teens. Another consideration for a classic daily driver is ease of maintenance and a good supply of parts. However much we'd like our dailies to be get in and go, even the most reliable classics will still need a bit of tinkering, fettling and general looking after. These next 2 choices tick both those boxes and are homegrown right here in the UK. The Reliant Scimitar 2-door sports estate may not be everyone's idea of cool, but they are wrong. The Sim is getting more and more appreciation as the years and months tick by. The Scimitar SE6s, built from 1975 to 1986, took their V6 power from Ford, sporting either a 3 litre Essex or a 2.8 litre Cologne from 1980. Both developed around 135 brake horsepower. Mechanical maintenance is straightforward and Ford parts are some of the most plentiful. Although the Scimitar's chassis is steel and subject to rust as much as any classic car, the body is all fiberglass, so you won't find any rot to spoil the look of the car. What you are likely to find though is a paint job that's looking a bit faded and worse for wear. These cars are so cheap to buy that the cost of a decent prep and respray will be more than their value. And what is that value? Well, anything from £1,000 or two for a project, up to low teens for a decent, recently painted example. The other local hero to make my list is the humble Series Land Rover, and specifically the Series 2A and Series 3, spanning from 1961 through to 1985. Engine-wise, most have a 2.25 litre four-cylinder power, running on either petrol or diesel, and a versatile transmission offering 2- or 4-wheel drive with conventional road gears and a low-ratio gearbox for more challenging conditions like mud, snow, sand or steep gradients. As for available body styles, if you can imagine it, you can probably find it out there, and even if you can't, it wouldn't take much to create it. The standard offerings are short and long wheelbase, pickups, soft tops, hard tops and station wagons. You'll also find many specialist adaptations like ambulances, fire tenders and tow trucks. Although the Series Land Rovers may not score highly on the comfort scale, far from it, parts are easy to come by and they are famously simple to repair and maintain, with many wits suggesting that a chimp with an adjustable wrench and a hammer could keep one going. There is plenty of choice out there in the classifieds and consequently prices are pretty low, starting at a few £1,000s for a rough looking runner and up to £20,000 for a very nice one. If you want perfection, although why would you with an old Land Rover, you can opt to pay towards £50,000 for one totally restored by Jaguar Land Rover Classic Works. All of the choices so far offer a healthy dose of cool and an unforgettable driving experience. But my last pick is next level, the Saab 900 Turbo. Whilst the turbo suffix was adopted by many car makers from the early 80s, the Swedes at Saab had been doing so since 1978 with the Saab 99 Turbo. A year later it appeared on their new larger 900 Turbo, and with it created a quirky and iconic car that still turns heads wherever it goes. To distinguish the 145 horsepower 2-litre turbo from the normally aspirated cars, Saab gave it some distinctive 3-blade alloyed wheels, and also a new grille. You could have an automatic transmission, but most fans favour the 4-speed manual gearbox. And if you're going to be picky, you'd also choose the 3-door hatch over the 5-door for its sleeker looks. There aren't so many earlier cars for sale in the classifieds, but you should still be able to get a great example for around £18,000 and one needing a bit of love for considerably less. Well, what did you think of my choices for cool classic daily drivers? What other options would you suggest? Let me know in the comments. My thanks to Anglia Car Auctions for the use of some of their video content. Check out their upcoming late August sale at angliacarauctions.co.uk. Also, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel to see more content on classic cars. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.